Hello, everyone. I'm back. I'm back. This is your boy, Mike the Travel Lover. Want to let you know, sponsored by yours truly, travel agency Above Beyond Vacations. But I want to come on here because there has been some updates as far as the bridge collapse and as far as also the cruise line when it comes into play. So give me 1 second. I need to share this to another group page. So shout out to everyone who's watching on YouTube. Shout out to everyone who's watching on my Mike the Travel Lover page. Shout out to everyone who's watching on my personal Michael Patterson page, the Carnival Legend and Pride page. And then I'm about to share this over to the Baltimore Vision of the Seas page here as well, so that you all are informed of the latest announcements. We're going to go over Carnival. We're going to go over, obviously, we're going to go over also just some updates as far as what I've heard from the news conference and things like that. So I want to definitely go over those things with you all. So thank you all for watching. First and foremost, just as I did earlier today, I want to give shout out to any of the family members that are being affected. Any of the family members that with the search and rescue they haven't found yet. So my condolences. And I know this will be a difficult time. So I just obviously want to let everyone know as far as that. And my mic is all the way over here. So first and foremost, I want to talk about this. And it may ruffle some feathers, but there should be no way in the world. There should be no way in the world where there are adults arguing inside of Facebook groups, reaching out to ambassadors with Carnival Cruise Line in regards to the situation. I'm having to go through my Carnival group page, and having to delete posts because people are arguing back and forth over an unfortunate situation. And this just shows the character of people these days. It is truly disheartening. It is not surprising by any means. But if your number one priority is the concern, the worry of those individuals that were on that bridge when that bridge fell, and the search and rescue, that should be the number one priority. Simple as that. The number one priority. There's nothing wrong with obviously people asking questions about future cruises. You're paying your money, things of that sort. You want to know what's going on. You have family members or friends that are on the cruise ship currently right now, where both of the cruise ships, Carnival Legend and the Royal Caribbean Vision of the Seas, is down in the Caribbean. Or I know the last time I checked, let me check. The Carnival Legend this morning was in Florida. So I'm pretty sure it will be closer to, let me see where the Legend is. Yeah, so I think the Legend is closer to the Bahamas now. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, but that should be the number one, the number one concern. And with adults bickering on social media for nonsense, right? For nonsense. People speculating, people not wanting to wait until the cruise lines come out with information, conspiracy theories, all types of nonsense. It's uncalled for. So I just had to say that, because it's just ridiculous that, as grown adults, when unfortunate, sad situations happen, you know, you have these trolls, you have people who are heartless, people that don't have any home training, seems like it, want to make comments, insensitive comments about a situation, right? Or just bringing up random rumors for no reason. So anyway, so let's get into this because I didn't come on here to necessarily bash people. I want for this time to be informative. And so as I'm scrolling through, I want to go through and let you all know that from the information, like I said, from the information I know this morning, I said something about there was a tractor trailer and all that was on the bridge. What found out is that the cargo ship lost control. Had propulsion issues. They lost control of the ship right before it was approaching, after it left the Port of Baltimore area, and it lost propulsion. Like I said, it lost the propulsion of the ship. They lost control of the ship, right? Some individuals also saw that some of the power went out as well. And so with that being said, the container ship ran into a column of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is one of the bridges that any of the cruise ships, any cargo container ships, they have to obviously go under when going up the Pawtucket River into the Atlantic Ocean. And what I heard as well is that when they started to have propulsion issues, they did a mayday, and that caused the authorities to then react in a way to where they shut down both directions of the Key Bridge, and it prevented people from entering onto the bridge. But during that particular time frame, there were 6 or 7 workers working on, I guess, the road on the bridge. And when the container ship hit the column, those individuals were the ones. And I think from the report, they were all Spanish speaking. They were all from Spanish speaking countries. So I think I saw Guatemala, Mexico, and some other places. And yeah, so I know that they may not be the only ones. I don't know, but they're still obviously trying to do the search and rescue. And yeah, that's how that situation went down. So fortunately enough, it could have been more people that you're talking about vehicles being into that river area, and it could have caused way more devastation, way more tragic loss, and it could be totally. It's already devastating, but just even way more devastating if it was way more people. So for the authorities to be able to react that fast and get that shut down, is commendable for them. My only question is the communication with the workers. If they were on the bridge, how come they weren't able to get off of the bridge in time? So besides that, President Biden came on and talked about what the government is going to do to be able to, assist with the recovery, with the rebuilding process, with the bridge, et cetera, et cetera. So he did discuss things about that today. But everyone's concern, obviously, especially in the travel world, is what are the updates with the cruise lines. So I want to go over the Carnival newsroom, carnival-news.com, if you want to go check it out yourself. The heading says Carnival Cruise Line to temporarily move Baltimore operations to Norfolk while key bridge rescue and cleanup efforts continue. And that's what I thought initially. I said the worst case scenario is that if the cruise lines find out that they cannot enter into the cruise terminal area, then they're either going to have the cruise passengers either go to Norfolk or New Jersey or New York. And so right now it says, and I'm going to read it, Carnival Cruise Line said today that while rescue and remediation efforts continue in Baltimore Harbor following the collapse of the Key Bridge, it will temporarily move Carnival Legends Baltimore operations to Norfolk, Virginia. Carnival Legend is scheduled to return from its current voyage on Sunday, March 31st. It will now return to Norfolk on Sunday, and guests will be provided complimentary bus service back to Baltimore. Carnival Legends' next 7-day itinerary on March 31st will then operate from and return to Norfolk. Guests on the current and upcoming cruises are being informed of this change. Our thoughts remain with the impacted families and first responders in Baltimore, said Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Line. We appreciate the pledge made by President Biden today to dedicate all available resources to reopen Baltimore Harbor to marine traffic as soon as possible. As those plans are finalized, we will update our future cruise guests on when we will return home to Baltimore. But in the meantime, we appreciate the quick response and support from officials in Norfolk. So now we know, as of the current sailing and the next sailing, March 31st, those sailings will, the sailing that's currently right now will return to Norfolk. There will be bus transportation from Norfolk to Baltimore. So some of you may wonder, how far is Norfolk from, let's see, how far is Norfolk, Virginia from Baltimore, Maryland, or the Baltimore cruise port? So I'm about to put it in right now, do a real time. And so as of right now, the transportation is about 3 hours and 45 minutes. Now, granted, it's just getting over rush hour time. So 3 hours and 45 minutes. So you just have to think about the operations, the procedures. I really do hope that those that's on the current cruise ship right now, especially if you book the train ticket, bus ticket somewhere, flight somewhere, anyone that hasn't really, if you drove in, is a little bit different of a situation. But if you have all of those other modes of transportation and you book those, it's going to be where, especially if you booked it within a few hours, or even 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon time, you're most likely going to miss those times. And so I preach and I tell people all the time, you never know what may happen. And that's why getting child protection is very, very important. Because disasters, things may happen, freak accidents, just as like today may happen. And adding that extra protection can assist you with maybe reimbursing any money, any changes, et cetera, et cetera. Now, hopefully, since this has been nationwide, national news, hopefully the airlines, any other mode of transportation are able to understand and won't obviously charge any change fees or anything like that because of the situation. If they do, that's heartless. But yeah, you have this tough situation. So 3 hours, 45 minutes from Norfolk to Baltimore Cruise Terminal. They still have to get the passengers off. So that's going to be a really long process. So hopefully those who might be watching on the cruise ship, please be patient with those that's at the port, because I mean the port is currently going through a renovation, so but they're going to do obviously their best to be able to transport everyone that's on the Carnival Legend back up to Baltimore. So yeah, 3 hours 45 minutes as far as the distance, driving distance um, between Norfolk. And so if you're on the March 31st sailing, then you may want to reconsider flying into a different port. I mean, into a different airport if you're flying in. So you have Dallas, Reagan, you have Richmond, you have several airports that you can fly into versus flying into maybe Baltimore. And so that is some things that you may want to consider. If you're flying in, if you're flying into Baltimore, you're going to have to get transportation all the way down to Norfolk. That's if you want to do the cruise. So if you want to do the cruise, obviously, and you want to obviously still go, then I would see about if you're able to make a change to a closer airport. Now Norfolk, you have Norfolk Airport as well. Like you have Norfolk Airport there too. So these are some of the closer airports that you can potentially fly into versus flying into Baltimore. Even with a train, you could see the closer train stations versus Baltimore train station, and even some of the buses. If you're using Greyhound or some other buses, you can see what other stops that you can maybe change to. So let me take some of your comments. So Kathy says Carnival already has a presence in Norfolk, so it's a fairly easy adjustment for them. That's very easy for you to say. That's very easy for us to say, especially when I don't think there's any ships going out of Norfolk right now. Because if I'm not mistaken, Norfolk is going through where they're updating the port area, the cruise terminal area. If I'm not mistaken, so that operation, like I said, might be very very easy for us to say, but trust me, I've been part of some emergency situations. Nothing quite as big as this. So I just employ people to be patient, be understanding. Everything may not be perfect, so it's just going to be really, really good for us to just have that extra set of patience. All right, so let's keep going. Diane says, no one's getting to want to drive 6+ hours to a new cruise terminal. Diane, that's really up to each individual person. There will be individuals that will drive 6+ hours to the cruise terminal. Okay, you spend a lot of money, you have vacation time. People may not have the ability to be able to swap out vacation time. So there are going to be cruisers that's going to take that drive. That's going to make adjustments to their flights and other transportation that are still going to go on the cruise. So, but yeah, you're going to have other individuals that may not want to do that, and Carnival definitely is going to take care of you. So, so that's something. I'm looking to see if Royal Caribbean has provided an update. Royal Caribbean Vision. Let me see, because I didn't see anything on their press center under Royal Caribbean. Any latest news? Let me see, press releases. Yeah, I don't see anything from Royal Caribbean yet. And I think that might be mainly due because I think the Vision of the Seas might be on a longer itinerary. They're on like a 10-day itinerary. Let me see. Vision of the Seas. Let me see. March 23rd. Yeah. So Vision of the Seas currently is on a 12 nights itinerary. So they just left on March the 23rd. And they will return. Yeah. So they're on a longer lift itinerary. So Royal Caribbean's response might be a little bit different than Carnival's because they won't get back into another um, about 8 days or so, another week or so. All right. So who else? People can deal with first world inconveniences. Some families are planning funerals right now. That is true. That is very, very true. And that's the thing is at the end of the day, there are individuals out here that have potentially that have lost their life. And that's the most important thing is that there has been a loss of life because of someone's um, either a mechanical mistake or dysfunction or a human mistake. And so, yeah, that's definitely the utmost importance. Someone said, can't they open the Philadelphia port? Well, they already made the decision now for Norfolk. So I'm not sure about, I mean, you got to think about it. The logistics is that, the Philadelphia port is not, I'm trying to think about it. Like, I mean, they used to take cruise ships, but I'm not sure how conducive it would be for a situation like this. Sharon says, thanks for getting clearing up a lot of crews currently. Yep, now in the future, most definitely. That's what I'm here for, to make sure that I'm providing you the most accurate information and to distill any rumors. All right, so yes, we're sad tonight. Lost life is hurting. Sam, maybe month before part open, we got cruise May 12th from Prof from Baltimore. If it happens, it happens. Not going to Norfolk, 4 more hours ride. Told gas did last year for glory. Live in Pennsylvania, thinking of lost men tonight. God bless them. Thank you for your comment. Deborah, comments. Thank you for Carnival making a quick decision. And yes, your Norfolk was closed. Thank you. So that's what I was thinking. I knew they were going through renovations with the cruise terminal in Norfolk. So yeah, that's going to be it's great for Norfolk to step up and say that we'll take the legend in. Even though they're going through some refurbishment. So there's going to be a lot of things that they're going to have to adjust so they can take those passengers, get those passengers off, and then also the new passengers on. I mean, you got to think about the employees. They may have not. They may have thought that they were off for months. Now you have to get the employees back. You have to get everything up and running to be able to take on, a cruise ship. You have also the operations as far as the food, beverages, all of that. So it's not just as simple as, they'll be fine. There's a lot of people probably working. Is going to be working 24 hours to get things as smooth as possible, to minimize the inconvenience of being at Norfolk. I wonder how this will affect cruises in the months to come. We booked for August. It really just depends on obviously key factors. When they'll be able to clean up the parts of the bridge that fell down into the water. That is the key thing. Is how long will that process take? And once they clear everything, when they start to rebuild the bridge, will ships be able to enter in and out of the port area? Which I'm assuming, I would assume yes, but we just don't know. And so that's why I don't like to really. I'm not sure. I don't want to tell you, oh yes, definitely next month or in a couple of weeks you'll be able to enter in and out. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that field, so I always like to wait until I hear something from the news, hear something from the cruise lines. I already follow because I lived in Maryland, and not too far away from that area. I already still follow a lot of the news stations, um, so any updates I'll get, I will share it to all of the, especially the Legend and Prod page and the Vision of the Seas page, because eventually after this dies down, then I'll be focusing just on those two pages, and I'll also do an update here and there on YouTube or onto my Mike the Travel Lover Facebook page. But for the most part, those individuals that's in those groups, they're the ones that are really being affected as far as cruising goes. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of information, updates in those pages. All right. So, yes, it's been years. We had cruise ships here in Philadelphia. Yeah. I don't remember what year the last time a cruise ship has been in and out of Philadelphia. But like I said, you got to think about the logistics as well. Norfolk already has an actual cruise terminal. Philadelphia really does not have a cruise terminal. So those are the logistics. And to be honest with you, if they went up north, they most likely would have skipped over Philadelphia and went to probably Cape Liberty, Bayonne, New Jersey, most likely, and then transported from New Jersey all the way down to Maryland. All right, so like I said, I just wanted to provide. Let me see. I'm hoping Royal Caribbean comes up with something. Let me see. Like I'm pretty sure Royal Caribbean is going to come up with something that's at least speaking to the loss of lives for the bridge. And so I'm gonna check out Royal Caribbean blog. Matt providing an update similar to what I did earlier. As far as I don't see anything else from him in regards to any updates. So yeah, so I just wanted to come on here. Yeah, the Vision of the Seas doesn't set to return until April the 4th. So it has a little bit more time. So if you don't hear anything from Royal Caribbean today, I'm hoping that by tomorrow or Thursday, the latest, we'll hear something as far as Royal Caribbean. Because if they too are going to Norfolk, that's even more of a logistics that they have to figure out. Who knows? Vision of the Seas may actually go up to New Jersey. That might be where Vision goes until it's cleared up, until they stop the suspension. So I don't know, but it's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect a lot. I know some people that work at the Port of Baltimore, and so Baltimore is one of the busiest on the East Coast. Baltimore is one of the busiest, especially in the Mid-Atlantic region, one of the busiest port areas when it comes to the amount of like container ships, amount of work that they do at the Port of Baltimore compared to other ports. So it's a lot of money that come in and out of Baltimore that a lot of people don't realize. And so yeah. So RC, it says, Royal Caribbean should go to Bayonne, but the parking might be an issue. Yeah, that's true. And that's that also is a good point, Susie. Norfolk, there aren't any ships. So it's not like there's people parking already there at the Norfolk cruise terminal area. So those parking lights and all that will be somewhat clear. So if they were to go to Bayonne, New Jersey, then it would be where if they had to do several sailings out of Bayonne, you're talking about where are people going to park? Okay, so that's a very good point. So who knows? Like I said, who knows? Royal Caribbean, if it's still suspended, next week, by the time they come, Royal Caribbean might be also going out of Norfolk as well. So we will definitely find out. Let me check. Let me see if I can check any pages coming up here. When it comes to Royal Caribbean, let me see. Yeah, because I'm really interested in seeing what Royal Caribbean is going to do. I mean, obviously, Royal and Carnival are probably talking along with these ports, these cruise terminals, to seeing what is the best route logistically. Um, so yeah, so someone I just saw from Travel Weekly that it says Royal Caribbean. A spokesman from Royal Caribbean says our port logistics team is currently working on alternatives for vision of the sea's ongoing and upcoming sailings. So currently, right now, Royal Caribbean is working on that. So we should be hearing something from Royal Caribbean pretty soon in regards to what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Um, Logistically, Norfolk probably makes sense, especially since Bayonne. You have several ships that leaves out of Bayonne, New Jersey, and you have. I mean, you don't even talk about New York. Don't even talk about New York. New York is the cost of that is going to be major. Let me see. Let me check one more time. World Caribbean International. I'm even checking Vicky Freed to see if she made an announcement. That's one thing that Royal Caribbean does not have. They don't have an ambassador like Carnival does. So I mean, Vicky Freed is amazing. She does provide a lot of updates, but having that ambassador, like with John Hill, to be able to get some updates and all that is really good. Um, and I'm trying to see if John Hill even posted it on here on his page. Yeah, John Hill didn't even post it on here. So yeah, so all of you individuals say John Hill. That's why I say I am a travel professional. I'm not just some random guy that just coming on here just talking about travel or cruise and all that. I am a travel professional for over 11 years, been in the travel industry for over 16 years. So when I speak, most people who've been following me, they know that I like to be as accurate as possible. I don't like to give too much speculation. I don't like to spread rumors. I don't like to do any of those things because then that makes that then in turn, if you have cruises coming up, you have things coming up that will worry you. So I rather get the most accurate information once that's provided, then I can talk about it. So when Royal Caribbean provides their update, I will jump back on, depending on the time. If it's not too late, I'll jump back on and talk about what Royal Caribbean is planning on doing whenever they make their announcement. I think some of you have also reached out to me with the update. So whoever has reached out to me, because I haven't looked at my messages, thank you so much for providing me and letting me know about the update, because I have been checking, but I can't check every single minute. So thank you for those individuals who were sending me messages letting me know that Carnival made an update. So can't do it without you guys, and I appreciate the support as always. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'll stay on here for another minute or two. If you have any questions or if you want to say anything, please feel free. The main questions obviously is what's going to happen. I explained what is now going to happen, and um, as far as Carnival, now we're just waiting for Royal Caribbean. Okay. And so that's what we're doing. Does anyone have any other questions? I'm just waiting for the alert to come. Just waiting for the alert to come with Royal Caribbean, so then I can talk about Royal Caribbean. Um, it's crazy. We live in a world that's man, anything can happen. And anything can happen, right? And so um it's these times, and you don't shouldn't even wait until these times, but we should be forever grateful for living, for waking up, for me being able to make it back home. We should always be appreciative. Definitely always be appreciative. I was just talking to my mother earlier, and I'm like, I can't even imagine. No, I was talking to my sister earlier. I'm like, I can't even imagine you are working on on a bridge. Number one, a bridge is high. That bridge may not be the highest bridge, but that bridge, I have gone over the Key Bridge several times. Um, that Key Bridge is pretty high, and so I mean, I can't imagine just you're working and then this happens, and it's just so unfortunate that that things like this happen. So you know, um, we'll see. We'll get some updates as far as, let me see if I can find any updates with the bridge. I know that some of the reports I was seeing is that they deemed it no foul play or anything suspicious. So they just updated. Here's an update. Thank you all for watching too. Here's a latest update from a local news station in the Baltimore area, CBS. Latest update: Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapses. As of right now, at 8:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're saying that 6 are presumed dead. So I'll go through this so you all can get, like I said, the information again. Some of you just coming on. Says a recovery operation will resume Wednesday morning in search for the 6 construction workers who were on the Francis Scott Key Bridge when it collapsed. The U.S. Coast Guard announced Tuesday evening the search has been suspended for the night and the workers are presumed to be dead. Based on the length of time that we've gone into search, the extensive search efforts we put into the water temperature at this time, we don't believe we will find these individuals still alive, said Admiral Shannon Gilreath with the U.S. Coast Guard. A large container ship struck a bridge column at around 1:30 a.m. The scene remained an active search and rescue throughout the day Tuesday. Officials said eight construction workers were repairing potholes on the bridge when the cargo ship crashed into the bridge. One refused treatment, another was taken to shock trauma and later discharged, and 6 were never found. We're going to suspend the active search and rescue efforts, Gilreath said. We are just going to transition to a different phase. Colonial, I mean, I said colonial. Ryland Butler with the Maryland State Police said water and weather conditions made it difficult for first responders to continue searching Tuesday evening. The changing of conditions have made it dangerous for the first responders and differs in the water, Butler said. We will still have surface ships out overnight, and tomorrow morning, we're hoping to put divers in the water and begin a more detailed search to do our best to recover those 6 individuals. So, so that is the latest news from CBS at 8:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yes. So yeah, sad situation. And my heart goes out to these families and these individuals. I've lost loved ones, so I know how it feels. And so, at these times, you know, that's why it kind of makes me angry when we have individuals that want to be insensitive during this time frame. So obviously, the next phase is obviously they're going to try to recover the presumed dead bodies of these six construction workers, and obviously after that will be the cleanup process, for however long that will take, and then after that, obviously, after they cleaned up um, clean up all of the debris and all the steel that's fallen down, then obviously we'll find out when operations will be no longer suspended for ships to be able to go in and out of that Patasko River area. And so after that, obviously begins the process of having to rebuild the Key Bridge. Now, I haven't even talked about the type of traffic that this is going to cause, that I know has already caused, because I have people that live here, I have friends um, that live here, some family members that live in Maryland as well. So, yeah, that is a major 695 is a beltway. It's part of the belt. That area, 695, it runs into the Key Bridge. It continues, but like I said, that is a major. That's a major bridge for people who work, and for them to divert and have to go a different direction. It is not close for them to have to divert, especially if you live not too far from that Key Bridge area, and you're trying to make it to the other side, you're trying to go to work or whatever. It's a big inconvenience, and so it just sucks. It sucks. Um, I don't know how this is going to impact, obviously, the workers at the port if they can't get any deliveries. I'm hearing things as far as putting some of the containers on, whatever's in the containers onto tractor trailers and delivering them. It's a lot. So, like I said, very unfortunate situation. And a lot of some other people also too in the group said, "Oh, now they can build a bridge that is higher, so that bigger ships can come through." No, even if they did, there's another bridge further down to where, because when you're on when you're on a cruise ship, you go under two bridges. Most people know about the Key Bridge because that's the closest to the cruise port. And that's where, if you go on social media, YouTube or whatever, a lot of times you will see people going to the upper decks because you're so close to the Key Bridge. When that ship goes underneath of that Key Bridge, you're so close to it. But there's another bridge. I forget. Is it like 45 minutes down, hour or so down? But there's another bridge that the ship goes under as well, that will prevent larger ships to be able to enter. So, all right, let's see. See, just I think the families that like you worry about my cruise since you're my TA. Plus, it's far off. Yeah, your cruise is a nice distance. Yes, Deborah, I'm searching recovery now. Is there a tunnel under? Is there a tunnel under where? Where? There's two tunnels. One is on 895, the other is on 95. Those aren't really close to 695. They're not, really close. So Susie asks, I know this is far off, but do you think they would make it higher so more ships can get under it? Oh, I didn't even see this comment. So no, because you go there's another bridge. There is another bridge that these ships go under that's further down closer to the Virginia area. And so no, they would have to rebuild that bridge to make it higher. So there won't be. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to come here and give you an update in regards to the unfortunate situation that happened in Baltimore. And I will provide another update once Royal Caribbean comes out with one. And I wish you all the very best. Hope you all enjoy your evening. And until next time, much blessings. Thank you so much for the support, for following Mike the Travel Lover. And I'll see you all soon.